Thank you, Sandeep, for your kind words. And I would be taking over from here.
Enter something.
Okay, my topic today is entrepreneurship. First of all, I believe that many of us here are entrepreneurs, and many of them are also in professions and so on. Many of us are also self-employed. I'm not really a professional speaker. I'm just jotting down my thoughts of my journey with that perspective, as well as I mean famous examples of the how to why one becomes an entrepreneur. Why does one go in for a business rather than working for somebody? So, having said that, let's address why one would want to become a. One second, there's a request. Why does one want to become an entrepreneur? I hope the screen is visible to all.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Okay.
Audio mode only. It's audio mode only.
See, one of the reasons is that as an entrepreneur, you can have show your creativity with opportunity. So, most entrepreneurs get into entrepreneurship because the creativity is stifled in their present jobs. They would like to be boss, their own boss. They would like to be creative. They would like to drive a great business idea with passion and determination. So that is why, some people, one of the motives of going in for entrepreneurship. That is the thing. Of course, this is known to everybody, but just, as a they can set their own lifestyles. As you know, an entrepreneur, if you're an entrepreneur, you might not be very happy with a 9 to 5 lifestyle. You want to go to office at 9, log out at 5, come back, commute. So as your boss, you can set your own work schedule to suit your productivity hours. And you might work one day for 10 hours, another day you might be work just for 5 hours. You may take the day off when you don't want. But of course, for this you have to put in the efforts in the other ways. So, some people who hate the lifestyle of this, they are passionate about learning. Entrepreneurs Entrepreneurship is for you if you're passionate about learning, curious about discovering new things, or ways to do new things. You might also identify a gap in services, knowledge, or support in a community, and you might want to address it with a great business idea or an unconventional solution. Continuing, they could have some unconventional idea. You might be thinking differently. This could be about a new need which has not been identified, or it could be a new way of doing the things, or introducing a new product or service that the market needs but is not yet recognized by the other people. For example, I mean, let's talk about uh, say taxi or even a scooter, a taxi sharing. That idea was not there. Then aggregators like Ola came in, Uber came in, and they came out with a totally new business idea, which also made people think as to whether they should own a car. Why not use Ola, or Uber, or other aggregators? Because that might turn out to be lower cost in the long end. They might want to be people of action. You might want, if you're struggling with a job and you are finding it difficult to fit with the ideas of a boss, or are in a rigid corporate life with standard operating procedures that stifle your ideas, then probably being in business allows you to choose your own path and learn from your own mistakes. They might want to change the world. You might want to change the status quo, or are motivated by a desire to make a change the way the world does something. For example, Elon Musk is a prime example of this. He went into space exploration where only NASA or government owned companies were there. He said, no, private enterprise should be there in space. Not that he was already there in so many businesses like Tesla, the first electric vehicle. But then he wanted to try something new, so he went into space and he did it. So something, he changed the status quo. It's not the way that NASA can only do it. Even a private enterprise can do it. This is what it did, and he showed how to do it. They embrace opportunity. If you are good at spotting opportunity and you can grab that, you would like to be a businessman. Others may not. You are going to think differently. This could be about a new product design or a new product or service that the market needs, or maybe a different way of marketing a product or running a social media campaign. The internet is a bit sluggish. They seek freedom and control. See, as an entrepreneur, you can have the freedom. You have the freedom to your own boss, and you can exercise control over every aspect of your business. Obviously, you need to have a healthy balance between freedom and control. As the business grows, you have to delegate and manage the business. It's not that you're going to do everything. Now, what are the perks of being an entrepreneur? You can have a flexible work schedule. You're not tied to a particular location. Just check that. It's sluggish. You can work remotely. Some people, embrace this lifestyle by working from different locations in the world, or you can work from your home or office, or you can connect to your employees online. This is your choice, as long as you can make it work, but it is in your control. You are in control of your income. You decide that, you don't have a fixed paycheck coming in at the end of the year. So you really decide what are your financial goals, and based on that, how much effort you want to put into your business. So you are in control of that. Leave that. Comment. You went back. I'm sorry, a bit of, yeah. So coming to, just summarizing the reasons for why one becomes an entrepreneur. There's creativity stifled. They hate a 9 to 5 lifestyle. They're passionate about learning. They have unconventional ideas. They want to take action. They want to change the world. They embrace opportunity. They seek freedom and control, and so on. And the three advantages, what I see it, of becoming a businessman is you have a flexible work schedule. You decide when and how much to work. You're in control of your income, and you can aim for financial freedom. You can assume a leadership role, and leaders are made, not born. Because the conventional logic is that leaders are born, but it's not like that. With particular training and motivation, leaders can happen. That is what management institutes teach us. But there are ways where you can fall in, and then you got to learn to swim, and that is how you become a businessman. Now, I have identified four types of businesses. What you can see in the market is, number one is an owner-driven business, where there is an owner. Owner is driving the business. He is putting his money. He is take everything into his business, and he is now running the show. These typically, the owner businesses are characterized by low risk appetite. They are practically, most of the owner driven businesses are, they start out as a self-employed business. They put in the money, they run on their own skills, and they have they do action which may be inconsistent. They have a very small team. They fear as to what will happen at the end of the month. So this is typical characteristic of owner driven business. They always are firefighting for survival. I remember an older stage where we were always bothered about, the month was divided into three periods. First to 10th, it was, run for the salaries for all the employees. 10 to 20th was, run for the orders. And 20th to 30th was always run for the execution or run for the billings. This happens. This is part of firefighting approach, and this is not how a business ought to be driven. But then there is a characteristic that there is one type of business which is like this. A second type of business is money-driven business. Money which comes in from maybe legacy. You are coming in from a rich background. You have money now. You got to invest it. This too is a high-risk model, because you're not bringing in your skills here in a money-driven business. It basically runs on investment capacity and collection speed. How much can you invest? How much stock can you keep? How do you read the market as to how much stock you should have? Will the rates go up? Will the import duty go up? Will the dollar exchange rate go up? And so on. And will the demand be there for the next 6 months? What if something unforeseen like a lockdown comes in? So this is based on all this. And number two, when you're having a stock, you're always under the pressure to move this out and then realize the payments. So the collection speed of your payments matters a lot. Normally, in money-driven business, what we see is the owner puts all his money into the business. He might even sell an asset to put into the business as he thinks the business requires it. But a business will go on requiring money. He will go on putting in it. So he will be not, making much of personal wealth. He will not be having assets or something, but he'll going on putting into the business, which he might tell you, oh, I have 10 crores of stock, I have 20 crores of stock. Okay, but the question to be asked here is what is the return on investment? How much is he making? If he has 20 crores of stock, is he making at least 1%? Is he making at least 14% per year? If he is not, he might be better advised to invest it in other avenues. Third one, which is the better one, is a team-driven business, which again has a high risk. And I'll tell you why it has high risk, but it does have consistent results. You will have month after month of sales, but the high risk comes from team members suddenly leaving, and which will affect your operational consistency. The team member may leave because of different reasons. There may be something that he wants to set up on his own. He or she, he's got a better job offer. He would like to leave. He is maybe changing the location. He is settling abroad. So there is always in the mind of a team-driven business a threat of hijack if the team lacks intent and integrity. Now, intent and integrity, these are two important words here. If a person has a genuine reason for leaving, like a change of location or a change of job, a better job prospect, here there is also a chance that the team, if some member lacks integrity, they may be prone to stealing the company's secrets. They might have an intent to cause harm to your. I know so many personal team-driven businesses where the people have walked away with the business because they know all the secrets. Some, cases in software companies where even people have taken the source code and run away with it and started up something on their own. So this is some risk involved with this one. The consistent results are there. And the last one, what we have is a system-driven business. In system-driven, if you can create a system for a business, you have achieved a low risk and a high results model. How to do this? We'll come to that. But here, why you define or have designed a system, you have developed a clear system to set, track, and achieve goals in all the functions. In a system-driven business, there is a very low owner and team dependency. Teams are there, the functional teams are there, but at the same time, the owner is not there on the business. He is not on the day-to-day business. He is there for looking at the strategic goals. He is there for acquiring more business. He is looking for expansion goals. He is in plans, and that is what he's planning. He doesn't have to, every day come and see. He will check with the team or the team leaders as to what is the performance for the day, the week, the month. So this is something which is ideal. A system-driven business is very, very something to be aspired to. Now, it's typically seen that business can be characterized as, two types of businesses. One is a survival business, which has expertise only in product or service skills. Okay, I'm in air conditioning, I'm an air conditioning expert, and now I want to set up an air conditioning business. I make my objective that I want to probably sell air conditioners, or else I want to service air conditioners. Okay, so I have a product skill, a selling skill, or an air conditioner servicing skill. So this is one particular example where what happens when he only basically stresses on that. What happens with this? You are dependent. Your income generating skills and activities are very poor. You are basically doing a survival business here, and you are just running after your fixed set of clients in a locality, and you are running after it's basically very reactive marketing. It depends upon word of mouth referrals. It depends upon existing customers. It also, you end up selling in desperation. You have an 80% effort in selling and 20% effort in marketing. Now there's a big difference between selling and marketing, which we'll come to later on. What does marketing do? What does selling do? Now, when you talk about growth businesses, the second type of businesses, if you take it in a very broad sense, growth type of businesses have a great product or service plus expertise in income generating skills. They also have an action focus areas. 80% effort is spent in marketing or lead generation activities. I always call marketing is lead generation. Selling is the actual to do work. So how can we change into 80 and 20? So 80% should be our lead generation activity, 20% should be your effort in selling for your product or service or promotional activities. Now, coming to business performance, okay, you have decided to do business, you want to work towards having a profitable business. Now, you got to sit down and plan. You can't jump into any business. ये कर रहा है तो मैं भी करूंगा. ये market में है तो मैं भी करूंगा. So what should it be? I would call them the 3 C's of planning a business activity. And this is where we are coming to the how of an entrepreneurship or a business ownership. The 3 C's are clarity, capability, and courage. What are these 3 things? These are where common sense, I just put them together, but this is what one should have. When you're talking about clarity, you should have financial goals. Your financial goals should be very, very clear. Now, I'm not decrying people who are doing, let's take a house person. Okay. She decides that I am good at event organization and I can put up good events for celebrations, birthdays, etc. Okay. The home is financially secure. She doesn't need to do the work, but she's trying to do it as a hobby. Okay. You cannot go to this person and tell them, oh, why don't you expand? Why don't you do this? Why do you? They won't. That is not the objective. But the important thing is what is to be appreciated is that the clarity of her or his financial goals is there. They just want to, circulate their activities or their business enterprise among the friends. They depend upon word of referral. They get the events, they do the events, and they're happy with whatever, maybe 30, 40, 50,000 rupees they make in a month. Okay. When lockdown came in, they made it did not affect them. But here, I would appreciate that person's financial goal. The clarity of a financial goal should be very clear. So you have to set your financial goal. Then you got to have functional goals. Once you decided, oh, okay, I will have a company. Now you're coming back to financial goals. You also have to decide that you have to be practical. I was part of a team where we wanted to venture into a new field, and then we started discussions, financial discussions, and so many Excel sheets were pulled up, and we started talking, and then the CEO came out with a project saying that, oh, we are doing this, we are going to now start doing this, and in the next year we are going to do 25 CR. We said fine. No, and then the next year we will do 50 CR, and then the third year we'll do 100 CR. I am just saying this is just paper. This is just paper and this won't work. You can pull up papers on the Excel sheet, but you have to be practical. You have to see what is your team building, what are the people you're going to put in, what is the resources required to execute such things to reach 25, 50, 100 in 3 years. It's just not possible. So financial goals, coming back to them, also have to be realistic. They have to be based on what you're going to do. Then you have to have a clarity about your functional goals. What are functional goals? What are the functional goals? Are the functions which your company needs to be operative. Okay, so this could be sales and marketing, it could be finance function would be there, it would be the operations, it would be the hiring, which is a very important part, and so on. We'll come to them later. But functional goals also have to be planned out, and you have to have clarity about the functional goals. Third, we have to have clarity about the learning goals. No organization will grow unless it is learning, continuously learning. And unless the people who are coming into the work or who are you're hiring, you are making them learn. You're going to make them learn about the processes, the way your company operates, what is the company ethos, and how to do things. So learning goals are there. We also have to have the second C, which is the capability. Do you have the capability to create a financially viable business model? Your business model has to be viable. You cannot step into anything. Oh, and I'll pick up this much loan. You have to have a plan. So how to do that, we will come to that. In the very short period we have, but then, okay, we can do that. Making functions functional. This is so very important. You have a capability, you have created a financially viable business model. You also have set the functional goals, but how are you going to make the functions functional? The funny word, functions functional, is that you decided you have made down the functions. How are you going to make them functional? So we'll come to that. The third very important factor which a businessman or entrepreneur or a business person should have is courage. This I call it the biggest factor where a risk-taking capacity has to be there, but so many other things are to be there. Number one, a businessman has to have the courage to stand by his or her convictions. It has to have the courage. Even there are downfalls or up and downs are there in a business, but what does the courage enable an entrepreneur to do? Number one, it enables him or her to give openly and fairly. You cannot take in an employee and then you put him at a particular salary which is below the industry standard, and then expect him to give a result, and then you do not teach him, you do not make him learn, you do not give him SOPs, and you just fire him, and then you suddenly fire him. You have to have the courage that, first of all, whoever you hired, have you hired it rightly? Have you trained rightly? Have you given targets? And behind the targets, have you given the tools to achieve those targets? So you have to give openly. Whoever deserves, you have to give openly and fairly. Number two, when I say openly and fairly, you also have to stand by the decisions your team makes. because at the top of the team are you. They have definitely consulted you for the decisions. And if the decision goes bad, something goes bad, you have to be quickly and proactively probably take steps to rectify that decision, or whatever effect it has in the market. You hear in the market that routinely, oh, Honda has recalled 30,000 vehicles because of a certain defect in the silencer or whatever. They are the company is standing by his decision that they're giving out a superior product, and if that product has a particular problem, they recall, and probably they spend millions retrofitting or rectifying the problem. That decision. Now this is a big company. If a big company does it, it is much more imperative to a smaller entrepreneur to do this. You cannot let your customer down. When you're talking about decisions, again, let us talk about, let's say, a product defect or a project gone wrong. You got to stand by your customer. Spend out more. First, rectify. The customer will remain with you. There are limited customers in the market. There is not unlimited market. Even if they're unlimited, you still got to stand by what you're given them, the product or service what you're giving. And for this, you got to take decisions quickly and proactively. Lastly, you have to have the courage to invest in yourself and your teams. When I'm saying invest, I'm talking about investment in their training, their knowledge, their tools, what you're giving them to be operative in the market, the access to training. If you are not capable to it, then put them on to trainers and coaches who can do this. You have to invest. Okay, knowledge is not stagnant; it has to go ahead. So you got to do this. So we'll come to the next part of this, where we'll stress upon what happens in business performance in the clarity aspect. When you're talking about clarity about the financial goals, you got to define your financial goals. Start with your own personal financial goal. Why are you into this business? Suppose you are already working in a company and you're taking home maybe 15 lakhs per annum, an example, or 20 lakhs per annum. Okay. And your take home is maybe 1.5 lakhs per month. Okay, after cutting the PF, etc. Now, if you want to go into the business, obviously you will decide that you will work your way to at least achieve this. If you're not going to achieve this, then what is going to happen is that your family will be dissatisfied. You will be running hand to mouth. You have to take a decision. You might not earn 2 lakhs the very first month, but you've got to make out a way. When are you going to earn this? So, what are the personal financial goals? Number one, you got to provide for necessities, which obviously are food, shelter, clothing, transport, education, health, etc., etc. This would be about 65% of your income or your business income required after taxes. Government to hai, GST to dena hai, TDS dena hai, employees ko dena. Uske baad, you have to have at least from your gross 65% should be available to you. So if you're talking about you're aiming at a profit of 2 lakhs per month, 65% of that, as you know, today it will go towards your these necessities. Savings. Many businessmen do not save. Whatever they get, they plow it back into the business. This is a very, very totally wrong thing, because you're not providing for the future. You have to have savings which are a protection, and they all mostly savings are a result of habit. If you start saving quickly, you will save better. If you start saving at the age of 25, you will be a crorepati much faster. If you start saving at 35, it will take you more time. At 60, 50 or so on, then you'll be in a trouble. Okay, you cannot, because the premiums go up and all those things happen. But savings, how much saving should one do? Typically, experts say that about 10% saving of your income is very mandatory to have a comfortable life, to provide for you whenever there is a contingency, like a health contingency, or somebody not an accident or something like that, or you're not able to work, or maybe something like lockdown. We spent about a year in lockdown. There was no business for many people. The event management people, their business came down to zero. The transport came down to zero. So they have to provide. At that time, that is the savings which are going to help you out. Now, food and saving the necessities and saving are not all. We got to entertain on. You cannot say, I'm an entrepreneur. मैं 10 साल के बाद में इतना पैसा कमा लूंगा और फिर हम लोग मालदीव जाएंगे. No, don't do that. Invest in entertainment also. Your family is there. They're looking to you. that they can't be expected to sit aside and not forego the entertainment or some. So do plan for some outing. It need not be to Timbuktu or to London. It may be only okay, you may plan a 3-day visit to go or a 5-day visit to Kodaikanal or whatever, but you have to basically not live. So another 5 to 10% you should plan for this. Lastly, or second lastly, investments. You got to savings is different, investments is different. Take out some money from a business and put them in investment proposals where you are able to make money, which is a passive income. Your money, which is your income, which is being generated today, should part of which should convert into passive income. Now, please, I am not talking about MLMs. I am not talking about pyramid schemes. I'm not even talking about the equity share market, because as you know, bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. Most of us, sorry to say, are pigs. We don't have the knowledge. You may put in, somebody may be offering you, I'm giving you this much percent or that percent. These things don't happen. So as per my what my experience is mutual funds are beneficial if you select the proper mutual. They can be, if you select a good investment advisor, mutual fund can be expected to give you a 14% return every year. You can go in for recurring, you can go in for SIP, but investment, whatever the way you do, you may invest in land, you may invest in commercial properties, you may give them out for rent. These will never go bad in the long run. So investment is an important part of a personal financial goal. Charity, of course, charity, I need not say much. Whatever you say, now in my religion, they say that daswant nikalo. Daswant is 10%. So 10% nahi nikal sakte, 2% to nikalo. You have learned, you have come to a particular position, so you do contribute to some favorite charity of yours. Give back to society. Uh, I'll finish this and then take questions. You can put them up in the chat box. We'll address the questions then. You define your target. What is your financial goal? As I told you, I gave you the example of a housewife who is happy with 20-30,000 rupees a month from the event she organizes. Great, good enough. But you define your target. What is your challenging yet inspiring? Challenging is something where you have to work, you have to go in for some pain to achieve that. Inspiring is also the same, but don't set your targets too low. You'll achieve them. Don't say, oh, I want an ROR of 10% every year. Don't do that. You're not raising the bar. So raise the bar and do something. Do it in a way where you are going to achieve it. You also define your margins. This is very important. That you know what type of business are you in? What type of margin can you have? If you're in engineering industry, it might be that 15-20% margin you can get. If you're in retail, you might get only 2 to 3%. If you're a wholesaler, you might be getting even less than that. It totally depends upon you as to what. If it's a high technology project, you might be even getting 50% or more. So you define the margin, or market mein tikna bhi hai. So you got to set the price, percentage, and so on. We come to the functional goals, learning goals. These are left out. So you have to have clarity in functional goals. Come to a sales goal. How many units of a product or service, or how many projects do you need to generate to achieve your sales revenue target? Annual, quarter, month. I'll illustrate it. How will I illustrate it? You cannot step into any business and say, मेरे को धंधा करना है, मेरे को ये वाला फलाना रेगुलेटर है, मैं इसमें 1000 मंगाऊंगा और बेचूंगा और पैसा कमाऊंगा. This अंदाज अपना अपना में विलेन होता है. अंडे बेच रहा है, अंडे लाऊंगा, बेचूंगा और अंडे लाऊंगा और मिलियनर बनूंगा. ऐसा नहीं होता है. In business, if you want to have a grounded business, you have to have a sales goal. How many units of a product or service or projects do you want to generate? I will give you an example. And you got to break it down into annual, quarter, monthly. Now, the sales goal is talking about this. This is not, this is a continuation. Yeah. The sales goal would say, or let's come to the marketing goal. Let us define a sales goal, a typical example, and a marketing goal for a company to sustain. Now, suppose you decide that I want to sell, mera target 3 crores per annum. Example. So I have 3 particular products, or I have 3 type of projects. A large project, a medium project, a small project. And my product or project A is for 5 lakhs, B is for 3 lakhs, C is for 2 lakhs. If product ratio, sales ratio is 50, 30, 20%, then you need to sell how much? You have to calculate. So you have to sell 30 units of A, B, and C. You can do the calculation offline, and so you're going to make it 3 crores. Further, now you also have to see what is your sales conversion lead. Your सारे leads आपके sales में convert नहीं होंगे. There will be a percentage. How much you follow up and what do you do. So if your sales conversion ratio is 15%, you need 200 leads per product annually. That is 17 leads per month per product. How do you do this? Now you have broken it down. This is good. Now you're going to put it to the plan. If you're not done this, then please do it immediately. I mean, if you want to reach from 1 to 5 crores, but you don't have the clarity as to how much I have to sell every month, and to sell that, how much leads I have to have every month. That is very, very important. Now, we're talking about in functional goals, you have to have operations. You cannot have a sales goal, a marketing goal, and then say, okay, operations will happen on their own. So again, in operation goals, how many products do you need to produce, or stock, or buy and sell, or projects to complete? How much are you going to do that? So you have to align your production or your project execution team to do whatever marketing and sales goals have been defined. Time. What is the average delivery product for service and product or service? Today, as we know, after the lockdown, the lead times for imported components are in some cases 18 to 20 weeks. Okay, so I cannot define my project or design a project where I'm not able to sell because I don't have the raw material. Okay, so you got to plan for that also. So time goal is important. That if I'm going to do in 12 months, 12 months broken, 12 months, 1 year broken into 12 months broken into 52 weeks, and then the week you got to, you cannot have spurts of a business. If the business is not that nature, you want a steady income, business income, then you got to plan it that way. Cost and quality goal. What is a product cost and what will be the parameters to measure the quality of a product or service? Product quality is easy to define, service quality is slightly difficult, but you can set the parameters to define the quality. For example, you might be having a certification, you might be having very high-end calibration tools. So you have to set that. In functional goals, one of the functions is of course R&D also. What new products will you launch and by when? You cannot be stagnant. You cannot have the same product and sell it. You will become obsolete. In the business, you have to be running. And then you're walking. If you're walking, then you're stopped. So you got to have. So you have to have what new products, what new innovation, how will I deliver products in a different way? So these are all, the R&D goals which you would be defining. You have, then you're coming to the finance or the accounts goal, not rather the finance. I would say it's a accounts goal. Accuracy. What is the benchmark of accuracy in percentage by the accounts team in capturing data of transactions? Many a times, a big business owner or even a medium-sized business owner, mostly which are the first generation entrepreneurs, they just don't know what the company is standing at. They know, oh, I'm doing 10 crores. But when you go to the bank, they say we don't even have 10 lakhs. And then they run to the bank for an overdraft to pay salaries, they mortgage and so on. Well, that is because many a times there is no accuracy by the sales team, by the accounts team in giving them a day-to-day thing. कितना पैसा आया है, कितना गया है, कितना बाहर है, कब आएगा, okay, और उसकी accuracy क्या है? So this is required. The benchmark is to be set for them. Similarly, what is the benchmark of compliance in percentage for the accounts team in paying taxes? You know that by the 10th or 11th you got to pay. You got to put up your GST or 1B for GST, right? 10th is the date for the TDS if you are collecting money from your say wares, and you have to pay to the government. So are these calculations done? Are they paid? The compliance is there. Very, very important part of any business owner to think of, because at the end he is liable to answer. Not the accounts team is not liable. He is liable to the answer to the GST people, the TDS people, the income tax, and a host of other compliance agencies. What is the frequency? The third thing important, what you should look at the financial team is what should be the frequency and speed for the accounts team to report to the business owner to make decisions. For example, cash flow report, receivables report, PL, profit and loss report. We are in January now. By December, we should have a PLA. Why by December? You should have it even every quarter. You should know where am I going. So can I take corrective action now? If you take it in February, it's too late. then you can plan it only for the next year. Human resources. See, this is also covering the functions of any business enterprise what they to do. So human resources goals, hiring goal. They always say that in a company, a businessman, he is the first HR person. When I set up a company, I used to do everything. Okay, so I am the first human resources person. I have to evaluate how many roles do I need to hire for. Now we went through the 7 roles. You don't have to hire for everything. You take a choice. Okay, what is the company? You can outsource it. Okay, for example, today accounting is outsourced to many people. HR functions are outsourced to people. Compliance, taxes, etc. can be outsourced. So you decide what is your company strength. Or rather, I mean, in terms of volume, can you hire a full-time person? So you need to decide what roles you need to hire for, how many people and when. Obviously, in this, one important thing which is kept out is the sales and marketing. It is very, very important, and the basic operations, the production or the stocking. That has to be obviously you have to hire people for that. You also have to decide competence goals. Are you building a second line of leaders to replace you in a certain contingency? So competence goal, you have to build a second line of leaders. Okay, so you have to promote people, you have to delegate authority to them, you have to move aside and let them do things that they do it better. If they don't do it better, you got to train them. So that comes to the people development. You have to inculcate the skills and knowledge to be imparted by training department wise. If you're having various departments, you got to see what is the level of competence there, how can it be improved, can they be devoted to training programs by MCCIA or XYZ or ENY or whatever, or even ISA. For example, we are big in training. So whether you can depute them for the cyber security course training in ISA, you got to decide if that function is very important to you.
ನಾಳೆ ಬರ್ತಾಳೆ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ರಿ. Okay.
Clarity in learning goals again, or business functional competencies. What skill and knowledge do you need in business functions? So the very important thing is the marketing. Second is sales. Third is operations, R&D, accounts, HR, management. Management is most important. Now, if you talk, I've covered this in the previous slides. I've talked about when I'm saying that, these are the functional, how to make functions functional. At that time, we have also talked about this, but these are the 7 functions any business has to have. Whether they are, done internally, they are outsourced or whatever it is, but it's got to be done. Now, I always refer to this as a tree analogy. Financial goals are the fruits which come out from marketing and sales goals with the branches of a tree, and the branches basically are attached to the trunk, which is operations, accounts, and R&D goals. The HR goals are the roots, which basically bring in nourishment and make the organization, the tree, grow. And finally, the learning goals are the seeds which fall from this tree, the flowers, the fruits, etc., which then bring up new leaders to join your business. So tree analogy, you can just see it refers and it points out to all this, functional competency goals. Business domain competencies. What technical skills and knowledge do you need in your industry, product, or segment? You have to be practical. If you are stepping into an industry, well, if you don't know anything about it, you got to hire competent people who know about it, and you have to bring them into the organization. Ambani doesn't know everything, but he brings in, he hires teams. Okay, same with everybody else. Adani also, okay, they're big guys, but you can take it down to a small example also. I have a cousin who has done serial entrepreneurship. He has run, maybe 500 buses in Delhi. Then he stepped into hospitals. He took over 3 hospitals. Okay, then he went into contract manufacturing for Tesla. I mean, the TV guys. Okay, Tesla. Then he went to Malaysia and he tied up with some auto component parties, and he came and set up branches in Delhi, in Kashmir. He had done that. He has done all this. But is he a bus driver? Is he a fleet owner? Well, no, he stepped into that because he had the competency of recognizing that this business is going to fetch me money, and he did all of that. Now, this is, I would define as a basket of strategies to create a financially viable business model. You have to have some strategies. So what are the strategies? I would define a few strategies which I'll go one by one. Number one strategy is customer focus expansion. You got to always be ready to see that are you increasing your customer base? Okay. Or are you only selling to your referrals? Are you selling to only, oh, I have 2000 contacts in a mobile, I can always sell to them. Are you doing that? Have you defined your channels? Are you B2C, which is business to consumer? Are you B2B, business to business? Or are you, the third channel is nowadays B2CH, which is business to channel partners? Are you there? Are you defining that? Number two, can you go B2C to B2C or B2 channel partners? Can you do that? Can you also expand via the strategy number two, the market segment expansion? Can you do that? If you see many of the people who are in electrical cables manufacturers, okay, so many are there. So they have okay, they went into electrical cable manufacturing, then they went into Havels. You take the example of Havels, Delhi, okay, it's a huge industry now. He went from cables, he went to switches, he went to fans, he went to tube lights, and so on. So he's gone on expanding. Okay, that is one example where a market segment expansion can be done. So which other industry or domain can you expand to, sell to? What other use of your product is there which can be applied somewhere else also, or service? Strategy number three is export backward and forward integration in your supply chains. Can you make it yourself? In a supply chain, can you make it yourself? Can you aggregate? Can you look at expanding your supply chain? Can you do? Now Ambani is a prime example of how he disrupted things in the supply chain. He started out with only polyester manufacturing, then he went into the clothes, then he went into backward integration, then he went into the petrochemicals, and finally he disrupted everything by going into telecom, disrupting the market, giving your mobile connectivity free for 1 year. He disrupted and went into that. So, but talking about the first thing, he went into backward integration and forward integration. He created a very successful business where now he's selling from your petrol, fuels, etc., the polyester, the POI, everything is selling from A to Z. Strategy 4 is creating a product or service funnel. You got to define your categories of products, what are easy to sell, what is your primary product or service, and what is your high value product and service. Accordingly, you will assign your teams to do this. To easy to sell, you might give it to the trainees who are going to sell it over the counter, the office staff, etc. They will be doing this. Maybe products which are low in price but high in volume. They can be easily sold by even undergraduates. They can be sold. They can be sold over the online platforms or an online selling. So social media is used, so easy to sell. You would be putting more trained people at your primary product and service, which is fetching you the main revenue. And then you could have a high value product or service which possibly you or your senior level teams could be addressing. Can you, strategy 5 is can you have a hybrid business? Can you be in manufacturing, trading, retail, services, technology, franchising, aggregation, distribution? There are examples for all of them. How companies went in for various things. Where can you be in different models? Definitely you can be. You decide. That is yours. Franchising is a very exciting revenue model. I'm always given the example of one doctor who was going every day to his clinic. The whole day was sitting, and he would generate a business of something like 5,000, 10,000, 20,000 in a year, in a day. Okay, but then he went to a coach, a business coach, who told him that what he is selling, or the services what he is giving, they can be also franchised. And he did it in a particular way. Today, he's got something like 25 outlets in one this, and he's going by his own brand name. So he has created from a service, he has gone into a brand, and I'm not talking about Dr. Batra, but he has gone into this, and this is what is being done. Aggregation. Aggregation is one more business, the taxi people, the Oyo people, the Ola people, Uber people, all these are aggregating. Hotels, services, hotel is a prime example of that. They don't own a single vehicle, but at the same time, they offer you services which are much more economical than the roadside or the local transporter. They give you a better this one, and you're paying online. Right? Strategy number 6 is explore sales channels for expansion. Geographical, direct, e-com, digital, distributor, dealer, channel, partner, franchisee, marketplaces like Amazon, Flipkart. You have to analyze what is good for you and you got to do it. Okay, I understand that most of the people might be here from the business or automation sector, but you got to explore. You cannot just have, I will do B2B, I will send out a salesperson from street to street. That is not the way the business works. It worked when we came in about 25, 30 years back. We used to start out in the beginning of Thane Belapur Road. And we would go to Herdilia, we would go to Reliance and XYZ and work our way till Siemens. That is not the way today it will work because you'll not get an appointment. Okay, so you got to work in a different way. So you have to explore your sales channels for that. Media marketing, in that same thing. So much of media marketing is available now. Today the time is gone when you send out an email to 1,000 people. They will probably block you. If you send out a bulk mail, the service provider itself will block you. But imagine now you're sending an email. Dear sir, we are in this business for 25 years. We are an ISO 9001. We got it in 1970, 2004. We are having 100 products and we want to be our products are very good. They are certified by TUV, blah, 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 blah. Sir, please give her an inquiry. And they give you a big attachment and they attach it to the mail. How many of you are going to open such a mail? They will all go to the spam mail, will not open it, and then you'll block him. So what is a different way to do it? How do you do? Possibly you could use the media, the social media, the TikToks, depending upon your product. Okay, the technical blogs you can write, so many things. How would you do it? How would I do it? I would first create a need for marketing. So I would rather write to a customer, sir, take a particular example. Sir, I'm into lubricants, and by selling this product XYZ to this particular cement plant, they could achieve a 35% reduction in bearing failure cost. And this is how they did it, and blah, 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 blah. Would you like to know how this is? And this is a video. I'm attaching this is a video. Visit my YouTube channel and you give a link and really show before and after. The noise came down, the performance went up, the MTBF went up. Now what approach do you think will work? Will that bulk email work, or will this sort of blog work? The blog will work, right? The blog, the such a thing will work. So that is what I would recommend to you. Coming to, you have to, as I said, there is no one particular answer. You have to define your need. And if you're interested in further, we can talk about it in another session. But it has been done. So it's nothing which I'm talking about. This one. Now we talk about consistent marketing strategy 7. This is required for all businesses. You cannot say that because Phenolics is old, he doesn't have to do. He still has to do marketing because he is going to compete against Havells, etc., etc. Phenolics cable बनाता है सालों से 50-100 साल से बनाता है. लेकिन does it mean that it stops? The need for marketing stops? Doesn't. So it is for even old established industries also. The marketing need, consistent marketing is for new industry also. It's for struggling business also, and it's for stable business also. So new, old, struggling, and stable businesses need marketing because marketing helps you in making the pricing, competition, payment terms, client pressures irrelevant. How does it do that? Because marketing is generating for you leads. The leads are, if the leads are going to be consistent and the conversion ratio is good, you are going to sell at your terms. You're creating a brand and you're consistently in touch with the new customers. You're not depending upon just the old set of customers. Old customers, what happens? They're good, but they will come to you, sir. This has happened with me. Sir, we have done performance terms with you for the last 1 year, but now we are in problem. There is a very market turn down. Sir, can you give us now 30 days credit? So I tell them, sir, I could have given it, but then this price would go by so much. However, I handle it. But can you imagine the pressure if you're having a limited set of clients? Okay, if you're having a bigger customer base, then you can avoid these things. Unless, of course, you are having corporates like bigger MNCs, corporates, Indian companies who that if they're going to give 30 days, they're going to give it in 30 days. आपका पैसा भागा नहीं कहते 45 days 45 days में जाए उनके साथ कीजिए वैसा डील. But the pressure happens because you are having a limited number of leads and a limited, because of limited leads, you're having limited sales. Now, what is also the next strategy is 8. You hire a focus team. I would define focus sales team as consisting of door openers and deal closers. Can you imagine you have just hired now some sales people who you are sending out in the market, who are basically just prospecting for inquiries. They are not meant to close a deal or even make a proposal. They are just door openers. Those are the door openers. They go out into the market, meet customers, generate a lead, give you back the lead, then an estimation team makes the quotation, and then your another team steps in, the deal closers. So door openers cannot be deal closers cannot be door openers. Deal closers are bring to them the knowledge. They know the points where they can touch the customer and see that the deal is closed with a win-win situation to both. The door opener is meant for that. Don't use him for deal closer. अरे भैया तू इंक्वायरी लाया है अभी कोट कर दे अभी कोट किया अभी फॉलो अप क्यों नहीं किया अरे बाबा ही इज नॉट कॉम्पिटेंट टू फॉलो फॉर दैट ही कैन seek an appointment for you for the company for the and he can demo the product but he would rather that somebody else does it. So you identify this. If you are a deal closer, you do it. If you are not if you don't have the time, you're moving forward, hire people who are going to do this. And last strategy, the strategy number 9, you can always create a why buy now and pay now offer. Have you seen that on Amazon and all the marketplaces, and everybody and everyone is just today, or you go into the offline market also, go to the bazaar, and there is end of season sale, there is season sale, there is there is an off season sale, and so on. So now everything is a sale today, right? So what you could do in your businesses also is offer discounts. You can offer bonuses. You can give them if pay cash now at this particular rate. You can have schemes. How does this help? Is basically it helps you to take out stock also. Okay, it enables you to generate cash, because cash in hand, it enables you to invest somewhere else. So you can go on creating such schemes in your business. And finally, we come to the capability goals. The capability, you have to sit down and make a strategy, which this is really applicable to people who are setting up a new business venture or a sort of a branch of a business. First 6 months, you please spend. You may be doing sales in a bit, but do spend time, which a typical phase can be 1 month to 6 months. Learn and gain knowledge. Gain knowledge about the market, about who are the competitors, what are they selling. You cannot step into the market without knowledge of the market. Okay. Even if you are in insurance selling, you got to have. You can't say that, oh, this is this. So what are the other insurance companies doing? What are their schemes? What are the actuaries doing? So all that you got to learn. You also have that will lead you to your strategy testing and skill practice. Once you know that I am going to have this product A, B, C, D. Okay. I'm into stationery. Okay. So suppose stationery, I have A4 paper, I have 180 GSM, I have 200 GSM, I have glossy paper, blah 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 blah. I have all that. I have adhesive paper and so on. What is my strategy testing and skill practice? Okay. I would be going to the market, I will be going to the distributors, retailers, finding out what papers are stocked, and so on. I'll try to do that. I would Somebody may say, oh, this paper is always there only. No, why should I go? It's not like that. You are stepping into business now, you're investing your money, you got to do that. Then you are going to analyze and correct every action. Not all actions are going to be serving the purpose. Something may be wrong, you might have to modify, you might have to drop. So please analyze and correct every action. That will lead to basically on traction. Again, this is about the hiring basically, is leads you to the system phase, which is typically lasts from 1 month to 6 months. I'm not saying 6 months don't sell. Sit at home, only plan, or sit in the office and only plan. Hire the people, make them sit and only plan. No, that comes later. So we come to the systems phase, strategy phase, system phase. You have to now see what can be outsourced to freelancers. Can you outsource a HR function, maybe even a marketing function? Can you outsource the marketing function via social media, agency providers and so on, which I'll come to social media also in the end. But you are able to define the results and action matrix, what you need to make. You are able to design a tracking system of the roles, reports, reviews, And from the systems phase, you come to a team phase. Now you start building a team. You hire a manager to scale the efforts. You have done a pilot, it has been successful. Now you hire people, hire a manager who will hire the team for the roles, different roles. At the minimum, do have a marketing and sales team. You cannot do everything. You may be a great seller as an individual, but can you do everything? I know people who climb, even I've done it in my earlier phase. Fine, I'm just telling you that okay, my fan is bad. I would pick up a ladder and climb up and bring down the fan and take it out to the electric fellow and get it rectified. And I will pride myself. Oh, I saved 150 rupees or 200 rupees. I changed a bulb. It does not work that way because you are spending. What are you worth? You have defined that you got to earn or your income. Your personal income has to be 2 lakhs or 5 lakhs per month. You have defined that, and you're spending out 2 hours, 3 hours doing that, the other thing, which is worth 500 rupees. So don't do it. Also said that would lead you to functional management. Will you have? Sorry. I hope you all are with me. We have functional management. You have one-to-one meetings with the managers, the team role players. You have review meetings with them. These things will lead you to continuous learning and improvements. Now, okay, I'll skip through this quickly. Just go through them. Yeah. Okay. So as I said, this is summarizing whatever I talked earlier in the last 3 slides. Phase 1 is a strategy phase, 1 to 6 months per function. What happens? Step 1, learn, gain knowledge. Step 2, implement strategy, testing, and skill practice. Analyze and analysis and correction. Step 3, go on to phase 2, which is systems phase. Go on to team phase. I can share the printout of this later on or a link to this, doesn't matter. But this is summarizing what steps are required to achieve the capability of making the second part, the second C, functional, making a functional function. In capability, of course, also comes your skills in people management, hiring and firing. You should know when to hire and when to fire. But before hiring, you should have a role model of that particular person clear. And that role model is not a job description. A role model is not a job description, is just telling you what is expected to do. How is he going to do it? That is where you define the role. Okay. So you are going to give him SOPs. How does he operate? How does he collect an inquiry? How does he make things? Do you have an ISO or documentation or something like that? So all this, forget ISO, but do you have a step-by-step procedure for him to do things? If you're having that and then still he doesn't do it, then you got to have a review meeting with him or her, right? So that requirement is there in hiring. Before you hire, you got to define the role properly and the job function. When you're hired and you give him appointment letter, you give him the role function. I mean the functional steps. Same thing comes to firing. You cannot fire off anybody if you're not taught him anything. You cannot tell him go to the market and go and sell this when you're not giving him the tools. You're not trained him. He doesn't know the product, doesn't know the service, he or she. So this is very important. Now what happens with hiring and person brings with him or her 3 things which are very, very important. A person can be hired on the basis of knowledge, which is the information or data required to do a job. It is also his self-image, how he views himself or herself in a role model. Self-image is very, very important. When you hire, that is very, very important. The integrity is very important. Third one is the traits. Traits are behavioral characteristics which add value or diminish the value of your skills. What are traits? Traits are something which cannot be really modified. Okay, a person may be lethargic or he may be perpetually late because he wakes up late. He's whole night on Netflix or XYZ and then he gets up early, does not get up early in the morning and then he comes to office at 10 when the office has started. This is a trait. Sometimes it cannot be cleared because his priority is not work, Baba. It is work. His priority is total entertainment. So there you have to take a decision that whether you want to go with him because he'll pull down other people. Ye late aata to make you late out, make you jaldi out. So you got to decide on that. Motive is what drives a person's behavior. It is a deeper purpose. It is what they do when they do. So you also have to have some skills. in discovering the motive of why this guy operates in this particular way. Why does he act in this way? Why does he behave in this way? I'm always saying in staffing and all that, even I have faced the situation in my corporate role also and as an entrepreneur also. I would always say that use a star interviewing question approach. Star approach is situation, task, action, result. You put yourself that, what situation are you hiring him for? What are the tasks he or she has to do? What are the actions he has to take to do the task? And what are the results? This basically is talking about the result is the review. What is the feedback? Okay. You cannot be negative. Ye kyun nahi kiya? You find out first of all why it's not done and how it can be.
You're not audible.
There are also three psychometric tests available on this particular URL what we are given, gorilla.com.
There are
You
some
can also
internet
subject
issues.
your critical clients to this particular psychological test. Okay, I'll just rush through this, but it's not very important. I've covered it all. Okay, capability of people management, steps of giving effective feedback. I would say, if you are giving them a feedback, how are you giving? Come to this medium, conversation or email message. Please do not send them a mail or a message. You're not doing well. You're not this. Come and meet me. No, please have a conversation. And always give when you have a feedback, always give a conversation face to face or a video call if it's remotely located, not a mail or message. Number one, what you should also do is that first give him a positive feedback, him or her. Don't give a negative. तू ये करता नहीं, वो करता नहीं. अरे भाई, अगर करता नहीं तो शायद सिखाया नहीं उस करने के लिए, SOP नहीं दिया. So first give that feedback what he does well and what could be done better. Never use the words ये नहीं करता है. Always use the words that this could be done this way. Okay. Then of course during the end of starting of a financial, this applies to all the departments. Goal clarity, skill and knowledge attributes clarity, attitude attributes clarity, weightage of appraisal. What is the percentage of things you would give to attribute, to skill, to goal clarity, to performance? What you will do? This is done at the end of the financial year, and at the beginning of the financial year, you need to also put up the targets along with the necessary tools to achieve them. So again, analyzing again the third quotient, not analyzing rather coming to the third one, which is a very short thing, is the courage, which I've covered in the beginning. Courage comes from clarity of knowing what is truly important to you in your business. Number two is, what do you ultimately want from your business for yourself? What is the end goal for you from your business? As a business owner, you have to have the courage to give openly and fairly, to take decisions quickly and proactively, to invest in yourself and your teams. Okay, the final slide, I suppose. What are the pitfalls of an entrepreneur? I think I might have exceeded my time. Okay, pitfalls an entrepreneur must avoid. Not doing research. Most common mistake is not researching the market for a product or service, and this leads to failures many a time. You're just stepping into the water and you do not know how deep it is or whether you can swim in that. Not budgeting for marketing. Marketing is an important tool to generate leads, whether you are starting or you are established. Will you invest in marketing via social media, emailers, SM influencers, or devise your own strategy? Doing everything yourself. As I told you, I give the example of changing a bulb or fan. It's not working. Okay, you climb up. So as an entrepreneur, you're going to wear many hats. You're going to be busy. Don't get busy in mundane day-to-day tasks. Setting up a business, not a brand. When I set up a business, I decided that I'm not going to be selling LED video walls. I'm not going to be selling controllers. I am going to be creating a brand. To some extent, I've succeeded. And today, if you search for my company's name, they will all bring you to me. So that is, setting up a brand, not rather product. Don't go on selling a product or service. Create a brand. Your brand sets you apart from your competitors. You understand your positioning. This is going to help you in the long run. Neglecting your finances. Finances decide your business. I cannot, be more imperative on that. You have to be passionate about your company's finance. You cannot say that, finance manager wo dekh raha hai. Nahi, aapka hai wo. Bad debts are caused by bad customers. If you remember ABCD clients, or I'll tell you what ABCD, the D is actually dangerous clients. They are not going to help you. They're going to throw it down your price. They're not going to give you money. So avoid the D customers totally. A, B, C are again other set of clients, which I'll not cover today. Prioritizing your product or service over customer. This is a pitfall. Don't say my product is the greatest. Customer is not. Customer is always king. Keep a customer first mentality to build trust and affinity, which you'll need to pull you through ups and downs of the business. Trying to be perfect. Nobody is anytime perfect, Baba. When I do some posting on LinkedIn or something, I first post. I can always rectify it later on. That moment is gone. I cannot post about an event which has happened today and I post after 1 month. It's lost its relevancy. Okay. Suppose I'm creating a social media campaign, or I'm putting up a blog. I have to make a video. I cannot say that, I will perfect everything. I'll do the technicalities. I will hire, proper studio and do it. No, it cannot be done. If it is not so, you're not a model or something like that. Your product is not something which requires that. Do it in the next iteration. Don't wait for the perfect PPT, promo, or pitch. Go in for version 1.0 now. Improve in the next iteration. One mistake we make is not getting a mentor. इंडिया का कल्चर में गुरु का इंपॉर्टेंस हमेशा से रहा है. Guru Shishya tradition is from ages. A business mentor can help you in avoiding pain points from his or her experience. They can offer you invaluable skills and expertise and encouragement. I have so many mentors from amongst my even probably competitors, or even from friends or colleagues who work with me or who have set up business. I refer to them. So this having a mentor is very important. And one more thing, if you are not able to select a mentor from your list of acquaintances, friends, relatives, etc., please visit micromentor.com. This is a free for you service to particular setup the mentor. You can choose from that depending upon the needs of your organization. Micromentor.com. Not scaling up. You have to scale your business, obviously. Mentality like we have a branch. Earlier, well, only Kayani is there probably in Pune, who doesn't have any other branch. But everybody else today, the Jain collections has gone to Pimpri, Chinchwad, Pune, Port Road. They have to go to where the customer is. Gone are the days. You cannot say this, that I will not expand. If you don't expand, you will stagnate. If you stagnate, you will die. Now, summarizing, okay. This is summary. I will not go through this. I'll rush through. You can just see. This is just a summary. Go ahead. Yeah. Do prior market research, allocate a marketing budget, scale up for growth. Okay, I've ended my presentation, but just coming back to how I try to do it. Maybe about 5 years back, I stepped into business pretty late in my career. Worked for maybe 30 plus years, and I fell into a sort of a comfort zone. That is one of the dangerous things to do. Whatever you're doing in a job, आपको पैसा मिला, you're becoming comfortable, your PF, your PPF deducted, you see the money in the bank, company pays for a car and blah, 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 all that. Okay, but finally, when we set this Hemkund automation up about 5 years back, the aim was, how to do things differently. Because you had a sort of a structure in the company where you could not do all the things your way. So if I want to do something in my way, that is how we started the company called Hemkund Automation. We defined a mission, vision, and values very, very clearly in the beginning of this. That what do we want to provide? We want to provide product services that provide value for money. They are robust and deliver customer delight. I won't go through this much, but your mission, vision, and values have to be very clear. You have to define your company milestones. How did you set them? Did you achieve them? And it gives you pride to say that, okay, in this year I did this, in this year I did that, in that year I got Parky Award, in this year I launched this particular new product, this year I am going to acquire these particular products. Those targets have to be there. You have to define on your websites or your key offering when you talk to a customer, what are you giving them? So okay, these are our products, so this is my page. Whenever I come to this, I would say that, okay, I'm in this 6 key fields, and this is this is my domain, this one, and this is what I'm doing. I would then conclude, but before concluding, I'd like to share a favorite quote from a successful entrepreneur. You've all heard about this guy, Richard Branson. He's the owner of Virgin. He started Virgin Records, Virgin, Airways, and so many other things. Virgin, even I think he sent tourists into space in a rocket. So he said that if somebody offers you an amazing opportunity, but you're not sure you can do it, say yes, and then learn how to do it later. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gurmeet. Thank you. Thank you very much. If anyone has any questions, please come up and we'll have a short question answer session wherein your
I'm
questions
sorry
can
I
be
took
asked.
it a bit long.
Sandeep and Gurmeet, I have no question, but I want to say 2-3 lines if it's okay.
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, Gurmeet, I want to, at first place, I want to thank you, and rather than putting it on a WhatsApp or putting it on a mail, I want to absolutely openly appreciate a very fantastic, completely experienced and knowledge-driven presentation. So sincere and very high thanks to you. It was simply great. I have never had such a fantastic presentations in so many months. So it's great, and thanks for that.
Thank you so much, Ajit. Thank you. See, I am not a professional speaker, but and then I spend time putting this together, and then if as I said, if an entrepreneur's why is clear, the how can follow,
Yeah, absolutely.
and the how follows by basically connecting to people who can help you out.
Yeah,
I don't mind saying that even in ISA as
yeah,
an organization, there are so many mentors I
yeah,
have.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah,
And
I mean, I'm proud. I don't mind even not saying who are those, because Mr. Vishwas Kale from Vijesh,
yeah,
even
yeah,
our own HS Pansare sir, we learn from them. Okay.
absolutely. Yeah,
So from each other we learn.
yeah,
So that is the advantage of being in a great organization
yeah.
like ISA.
And
I'm really thankful. for that.
another thing which I would like to put with permission of everyone is I think this is a fantastic movement today we had in the beginning of the year, and the topic selected was too good. Would like everyone, including me, of course, that calls for me. So leading from the front kind of a stuff. Let us keep this kind of an programs and all momentum on. Very it's not necessarily okay. ISA is more technical, obviously, but this is very important. So I would request this momentum, all of us to keep this momentum, come forward. Maybe sometime someone next can talk. I can talk after 2-3 months. So something like that. That momentum has to be there. That's my request to everyone attending this program.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank
that's
you.
a good.
Good afternoon.
Yeah.
My name is
Any questions? I think there are some questions in
I
the.
think someone is
Yeah.
Purnima. Purnima is trying to ask
Purnima.
something.
Yes, my
Yeah.
name is Dr.
Yeah.
Purnima. I
Hi.
feel instead of why and how of entrepreneurship, the topic may be like how to grow your business. Actually, that is the real
Yeah.
title.
Yeah.
According to me, I feel that
Yeah.
should be the title.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very good.
Madam, yeah. Let me answer that. How to grow a business. I have really encapsulated a very vast subject in the 45 minutes supposed to be given, but I probably taken more than an hour and a quarter. It's a very vast subject. If we have some more sessions, future on this, we can get into those nitty gritties, because this cannot be taught or explained in a hour. As you can see, this is a synopsis ka synopsis, what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mentioned
So
the
when
same
you
thing.
talk about that, that distilled version is not going to have the clarity. Okay, I'll give you one particular example. How many of us use Excel, MS Excel? I think almost everybody.
Yes.
How many of us use WhatsApp for marketing? Almost everybody.
Yes.
How many of us use Excel for making quotations, making lists, making to do tasks, making what do you say, laboriously, sending this is my product, blah blah blah, using WhatsApp, etc. Most of us, right? How many use email marketing from Outlook, from GoDaddy, campaigns you'll run, and so on? How many? Most of us. Now, have you analyzed how much time you take to do that? Number one. Number two, what is the response from the customers? If you send out 2,000 mails, do even 20 respond? 20, 1%. I'm asking you. And whether there could be a better way to do things.
Yes.
So, one of the maybe future, I can talk about this, is how to automate your business using Google. How do you use Google? That is what I can dwell upon in 1 hour session, a very small one. But if you see the 3 dots above your Google Gmail account, anyway, a professional Gmail account from Google costs you only 800 rupees per user per year, okay, or per month, or whatever it is. But at the same time, you're having a personal Google Gmail account everybody has. If you see the 3 dots on the side, you will see the various apps available in the G Suite, okay.
Yes, correct.
I have implemented ways of using the G Suite, of reaching out to customers, and through WhatsApp, I've installed a WhatsApp API app I installed, which links to the Google Suite. And when I use that, I can reach out to customers in seconds.
Very
What I will do, it basically does my task, which I'm taking 8 hours, I can do it in less than half an hour. So it's not only that, you have to free yourself and try to do business automation, which is also important task of your needs, which we can address in maybe another webinar.
Thank you.
Thanks.
One more request. Is it possible to share the PPT? It was very interesting.
I'll think about it. I'll do that. Unfortunately, I forgot to record this session today, but definitely we can think of
Share
sharing
the
the
PPT,
PPT.
please. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
I think this session is recorded, I think.
I hope so, because actually what happened, has anybody else recorded it? Actually,
Yeah.
my mobile, yeah.
It is recording, Gurmeet.
Fantastic. Great. Okay. Very nice. Any questions? I think you have. I see a question from Jagdish Patankar. Yeah. Hi, Jagdish.
He left, but actually.
Acha, he left. Okay. Okay. Jagdish Patankar is actually my classmate, first of all. Okay.
So you
He is one of the biggest entrepreneurs. Huh?
You talk to him on the one-to-one. His question.
Yeah, okay. He has a question. So he is talking about, I've been in business for 30 years. Okay. I'll answer him one-to-one. I'll answer. Any other this one?
Yeah, Purnima madam, I would like to just add to what Gurmeet said. What type of business you are doing? On that we can discuss and decide that how you should grow your business.
Okay.
Because in general, there are many different businesses, but you should talk on your own business. So what are the opportunities you have? What are the systems the team you have? How to grow that team? How to make the systems placed? So all those things will come when we know what type of business you are in.
Yeah, it is specific to that sector and domain. I understand.
Okay. Correct.
I understand. Okay. Thank you.
You are from which company, madam?
I'm from EduTech.
Okay, EduTech, education, basically.
Yes, EduTechnology.
So,
I
okay.
use technology for promoting education.
Okay, so there's a huge opportunity for that business.
Yes. Thank you very much.
So are you a ISA member, madam?
No. First time I'm attending, I will be the member.
Okay, I will suggest you to become a ISA member, because we have many colleges attached to ISA, and we have 325 students who are our members.
Okay.
So
Definitely,
that will help you to.
Please send me the membership details. I will definitely become the member. Okay.
Sure, madam. Sure.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I think, Gurmeet, it was a very good session. So we can have many more sessions after this, as Ajit mentioned. So I think
Yeah, there are other aspects which we can attack.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
So, Ajit, can you make a thank you note to all?
Yeah. So, first of all, I would like to.
शो शुरू हो गया क्या? अभी नहीं. Look at this.
Okay. I take this opportunity to thank everyone to join on a Saturday. That too also we have a very interesting, the first festival of this year, Bhogi, followed by Makar Sankranti. So I wish everyone who has joined and rest of the people who had earlier joined a very, very happy new 2023, very happy, healthy and successful year, and a very happy Makar Sankranti. And if we have started with a bang, Mr. Gurmeet, who also happens to be let me be very honest, he's younger to me, but for a smallest matter or a difficulty, I approach Gurmeet, and he's prompt in answering in any fashion, be it WhatsApp, be it email, or be it a phone call. So a very nice session by Gurmeet. Thanks again. And thanks to everyone. And Sandeep, thanks for putting it across all the medias and getting many people to attend this. Thanks to Rahul for arranging it on a town script. And thanks. Let us keep this momentum. And once again, a happy new year to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And they do visit Mindspark. Our stall is there.
Yes.
Madam, Purnima, madam, you should go to the Mindspark and have that look on that what they are doing in there.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank you. I will go through.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, please. You go to the college, COP college. It's a very nice, and a lot of students are coming there. And we also have ISA stall there.
Thank you. I will do.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, guys. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Gurmeet, probably you need to stop the recording from your side, right?
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Okay, sir. Bye-bye.